Good day, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia.
And I'm Alston Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We're bringing you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's the beginning of the week. Before we get into anything else, let's dive into our top headlines.
A scooter rider was arrested on June 26th after police uncovered a concealed firearm and narcotics during a stop near KB. The incident unfolded just after 7:30 p.m. when St. Martin's Central Police Dispatch received reports of a disturbance involving several people near the intersection of Welfare Road and KB Road. One of those involved was reported to be riding a scooter. Officers responding to the call quickly located a man matching the description. During a routine inspection, they discovered a small quantity of narcotics on him. The suspect, identified by the initials DAR, then admitted to having a firearm tucked at his back. Police safely confiscated the weapon and placed him under arrest. He was transported to the Phillipsburg police station and remains in custody as the investigations continues. The police force of St. Martin reiterated its zero-tolerance policy on illegal firearms and urged the public to report any suspicious activity. Tips can be submitted anonymously by calling 9300. Authorities emphasize the importance of community cooperation in keeping neighborhoods safe.
The police force of St. Martin has announced that cadets from the BPO 6 training class representing St. Martin and the BES Islands successfully completed CPR and basic emergency care training. The certification, valid for 2 years, equips the trainees with critical life-saving skills for first response situations, often before medical teams arrive. A ceremony marking the achievement was held on Friday, June 27 at the St. Martin Medical Center. It was attended by SMMC Director Dr. Felix Holliday, staff members, instructors, and the cadets. Speakers encouraged the cadets to apply the principles of emergency care in both medical and community policing situations. They emphasized the importance of being prepared, collaborative, and responsive in critical moments. The initiative highlights the police force's commitment to professional development and community safety. Appreciation was extended to St. Martin Medical Center for supporting the training. The Honorable Minister Patrice Gomes of Rome met with French Vice President Bernadette Davis on Friday, June 27, to strengthen cross-border cooperation on environmental protection and infrastructure management across the island. The meeting, held at the St. Martin Port Authority, focused on reviving the joint cleanup campaign launched in 2023 and tackling key environmental challenges such as drainage, illegal dumping, and climate resilience. Both sides agreed on coordinated strategies to monitor and maintain rainwater drainage systems, aiming to reduce flooding and improve water flow during heavy rains and hurricanes. Technical teams from both governments will maintain regular communication to swiftly resolve disputes related to land use and water management. The two parties also pledged to boost collaboration on waste management and introduce stricter enforcement against those who damage public infrastructure or the environment. Plans are in motion to close legal loopholes and develop joint regulations to ensure better accountability. In preparation for hurricane season, the government's committed to prioritizing public awareness campaigns and infrastructure upgrades that protect vulnerable areas on both sides of the island. Minister Gomes emphasized that regardless of the border, shared solutions are key to protecting communities and preserving the island's environment. Both governments have reaffirmed their intention to continue working together on long-term, practical solutions that benefit all.
The Tax Administration has issued its final reminder that Monday, June 30th is its last day to submit 2024 income tax and final profit tax return forms. Submissions must be made in person at the Vineyard Building between 7:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. Businesses owing taxes based on the final profit return must complete payment by 2 p.m. at the receiver's office on Pond Island. Bank transfers are also accepted via WIB and RBC accounts listed in the official notice. For questions, residents can contact the Tax Administration Building at 542-2143 or email taxinfo@stmartingov.org.
Bust the chains cool effect. Run around and that's your mouth. Vibe is the one that people talking about.
Hello? Chin?
I say you're running your mouth. Hey, hey, let's all go. Let's all go. Let's all go.
I want you to bend down, bend up. I want you to walk up, walk up. I want you to bend down, bend up. Lady, to the wrong man. No, you got a problem on your damn hand. You give it to the wrong man. No, you got a problem on your damn hand.
We don't shoot and miss. Go shoot and miss. We don't shoot and miss. Go shoot and miss. We don't shoot and miss. It's hits after hits after hits. For more information, Bust the Chain Cool Effect at Facebook and Instagram.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Make the switch. Get faster internet for less.
Here is Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into the forecast and see how the skies are treating us. The Met Department of St. Martin is keeping a sharp eye on the Atlantic, ready to update you with the latest. So don't forget to follow NEWSDESK on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy your week, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. 3 areas to watch in particular, plus a tropical wave riding right through the Caribbean that brought some of us flooding yesterday. I'll show you some of the scenes from that. This about to become Flossie. This could become Barry. It'll be a very close call in the Bay of Campeche. I'll show you that. And then I want to show you the area that could develop over toward the northern Gulf, back toward the southeastern United States. So plenty to cover in this video. We'll go through it for you. Here's that tropical wave that's sliding by Puerto Rico down through the ABC Islands. This did bring some flooding to some areas yesterday, and it was substantial in spots. Take a look at this, sent in from my friend David in Dominica in the northwestern sections. There was quite a bit of flooding, so thinking of you if you're dealing with some of the aftermath of that this morning. So this here is by tomorrow. What is left of what, again, could become Barry, we'll see if it gets a name, will move into Mexico. Very, very heavy rain. This here becoming Flossie. Should be a tropical storm later today into tomorrow. Could become a hurricane as well. And then watching some spotty areas of rain as we slide back through the Caribbean. If we get some, we could get a few stronger thunderstorms. Jamaica today, we may get a couple stronger storms. Here's that front over toward the southeast U.S. What's left of of this system moving into Mexico, but you see the rain kind of rebuilding in parts of Central America by the time we get into Tuesday. So here's Flossie right through here. Now, as this lifts up to the north, know that I'm watching this to see how it kind of ties into the weather back through Mexico, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California. This will be weakening, but then as we go throughout the week, drawing our attention to this area. So Flossie weakens as it lifts north. This is the area we'll be watching for development later this week. Heavy rain threat again, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. And then we'll keep an eye on spotty showers for us anywhere from Antigua and Barbuda, back through St. Lucia, back through Trinidad as the week goes on. So let's go out in time here further, and then I'll show you the European model and how it kind of matches up with this. This here would be by Thursday, and you can see a couple things going on here. One, watching the rain with what's left over of Flossie here, just kind of lifting to the north. We'll see how this rain gets tied in here, but look at this leftover moisture near the northern Bahamas, off the coast of the Carolinas, Georgia, and back through Florida. These fronts just leave some of that rain. Look what happens on Friday. This is by the 4th. Really heavy rain continuing to build in some spots. Now, will this area develop? It does have a chance of developing. We'll see, of course, as we get a little bit over a day or two. I'll have a really good heads up on that. So watching this area, a new tropical wave slides into the Caribbean later this week, and then another area just south of Mexico, once again, looks like it'll develop. The eastern Pacific has been so active, but now the Atlantic basin is starting to get more active, and this area does have a chance of developing very close to Florida, the northern Bahamas, and southeast U.S. over the next couple of days. So watching the Bay of Campeche, if that area gets a name, Barry is the name, but either way, tropical storm conditions, east coast of Mexico, not the Yucatan, but the east coast of Mexico proper, northern Gulf. Watching that over toward the southeast U.S. later this week, there could be some development as I showed you, and then Flossie building near southern Mexico. Busy pattern as we get into the week ahead. Thank you for your trust as we go through hurricane season, and have a good day ahead.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
National Recovery Program Bureau, NRPB, has officially terminated the contract for repairs of school gyms and sports facilities under the Emergency Recovery Project 1. Despite the contractor taking possession of the sites, no physical work was completed within the project's timeline. With ERP1 entering its final phase, the NRPB, supported by the St. Martin government, decided to close the contract to avoid further delays. All affected school boards have been informed, and efforts are underway to ensure the transition causes a minimal disruption. The NRPB is working closely with the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport and the World Bank to explore alternative ways to complete the repairs. NRPB Director Claret Connor expressed commitment to delivering the needed upgrades and promised updates once the new plan is confirmed.
St. Martin Academy closed the 2024-2025 school year with an impressive 94% student promotion rate across Forms 1 through 4. For the first time in years, all 101 students in Form 2 were promoted, with none needing to repeat or transfer to vocational studies. In Form 1, 86% of students advanced to the next level, with only 10 repeating and 5 transferring. At the upper levels, 95% of Form 3 students moved on in their academic streams, while 96% of Form 4 students advanced to their final compulsory education year. The school's principal, Mrs. Kim Lucas Felix, credited dedicated teachers and the Department of Student Care for supporting students emotionally and academically throughout the year. The school also recently hosted its first Evening of Excellence, celebrating more than 250 student achievements in academics, sports, arts, and leadership. Vice Principal Joanna Trim emphasized the community's role in investing in education as key to future success. President Louis Mussington of the Collectivité of St. Martin toured several ongoing public works projects on Wednesday, June 25th, to assess progress on key infrastructure and community upgrades. Joined by Vice President Bernadette Davis, technical staff, and department heads, Mussington's visit included stops at sites in Orient Bay, Cul-de-Sac, Grand Cause, La Savane, and Sandy Ground. In Orient Bay and Cul-de-Sac, restroom facilities receiving upgrades including plumbing, tiling, and painting. The Orient Bay project was handled by the Collectivité's technical services, while the cul-de-sac upgrade cost €23,000. In Grand Cause, renovations at Ghislaine Rogers Nursery School included a new principal's office and a teaching assistant room at a cost of €200,000. At Ely Gibbs School, a new modular building was constructed to support swimming activities. The facility features changing rooms, a storage area, and disability-accessible restrooms, costing €290,000. At the La Savane Fire Station, Phase 1 of a major upgrade was recently completed. The €1.45 million project improved energy efficiency, replaced roofing, lighting, and air conditioning, and overhauled electrical systems. Phase 2, set for completion in late 2026, includes new training and equipment rooms, expanded parking, and a vehicle washing station with an estimated cost of €1.6 million. The final stop was the former tourism office in Sandy Ground, which is being transformed into the new Department of Culture and Heritage. Damaged by Hurricane Irma, the building is undergoing extensive renovations and is expected to be completed by September 2025 at a cost of over €500,000.
Romy has announced that roadworks on Cockspur Tree Drive in Cold Bay will begin Monday, June 30th as part of the 2023-2024 concrete hard surfacing project. Work will take place daily from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and is expected to last approximately 2 weeks. The project, executed by Windward Roads Infrastructure BV, will cover 104 meters of roadway in sections, each about 2 meters wide. During work hours, traffic will be limited to a single alternating lane with a width of 2.5 meters. Parking will be permitted along the roadside where possible. After 4 p.m. and until 7 a.m., the road will reopen, but residents enter at their own risk. Concrete pouring may further restrict access to properties with emergency access maintained at all times. For questions or concerns, contact Vromy's Department of New Works at 542-4292, extension 2388, or email them at vromynewworks@stmartingov.org.
The deadline to submit 2024 income tax return forms A and B has been extended to June 30th, 2025. Invitations are being sent by regular mail. If you don't receive one, you must request it. Forms are available online at the Government of St. Martin's website. Taxpayers must submit forms in person at the Tax Administration Office located in the Vineyard Building. Online or email submissions are not accepted. For proof of submission, bring a copy to be stamped. Taxpayers who need an extension must request it before June 30th, 2025.
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app, though. It's not an app. app you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a f***ing app. What the f***? It's not a f***ing app.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
myemail.sx has officially launched its websites www.myemail.sx, providing St. Martin residents and Caribbean users with a simple and secure platform for personalized email addresses. The service allows users to claim custom emails like firstname@lastname.sx, ideal for personal or professional use. It promotes digital independence, privacy, and local pride by offering a locally managed and secure option. Founder Raquel Wati highlighted the importance of digital representation for St. Martin on the global stage. The website features an easy-to-use form to check email availability and quick setup options. Additional services include onboarding support, email forwarding, and custom business domains. MyEmail.sx aims to support individuals and small businesses seeking professional, trusted local email solutions.
The Foster Care Conference 2025, hosted by Judicial and Institutional Services at the University of St. Martin from May 27 to 28, brought together professionals, policymakers, and advocates from across the region to strengthen foster care systems. Under the theme, Mending the Foster Care Net, the two-day event featured expert talks, panels, and testimonies focused on improving care quality, interagency collaboration, and trauma-informed support for children in foster care. Key speakers included government ministers and officials who emphasized accountability and the vital role of the judiciary in child protection. Regional foster care leaders from St. Martin, Bonaire, Anguilla, and St. Martin shared insights and best practices. The conference concluded with a call to action urging immediate efforts to close systematic gaps and ensure no child is left behind. Judicial and Institutional Services, known as SJIS, pledged to continue advancing reforms that strengthen the foster care safety net throughout the region. Professor Danabang Kuwabong of Ghana and Trinidadian Calypsonian Eric Pink Panther Taylor were honored with the President's Award at the 22nd St. Martin Book Fair held June 7, 2025. The award recognizes individuals whose work combines literary, cultural, and liberation efforts for the progress of their people and humanity. Kuabong, a professor at the University of Puerto Rico, is known for his scholarship on African diaspora and Caribbean literature. He also authored the book launched at the fair, Rhetoric of Resistance, Labor of Love. Pink Panther, a celebrated calypso artist with a 50-year legacy, has been recognized for his national and regional contributions to music and culture. At the book fair, he led a Kaiso workshop and performed with local artist Clamar Kaiso Brat Richards. The President's Award is presented by the Conscious Lyrics Foundation, House of Nehesi Publishers, and the University of St. Martin, organizers of the Literary Festival. The fair also paid tribute to late supporters Barry Sample and Dr. Velma Pollard during its opening ceremony.
The U.S. Consulate General in Curacao hosted a celebration commemorating the 249th anniversary of U.S. independence and the 75th anniversary of the Franklin Delano Roosevelt House. The event brought together dignitaries including Governor Lucille George Wout, Prime Minister Pisas, Parliament members, diplomats, and guests from neighboring islands. The evening closed with a fireworks display as well. Consul General Ramon Chico Negron highlighted the Roosevelt House's history, gifted in 1950 as a memorial to U.S. forces in the Netherlands West Indies during World War II. It symbolizes the long-standing partnership between the U.S. and the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The celebration reaffirmed ongoing U.S. commitment to regional cooperation and shared prosperity. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. on TV 15. And then across all social media platforms. I'm also Lawrence.
And I'm Yesenia Lassiter, wishing you an amazing week. See you next time.
And remember, all week, all summer actually, let us stay friendly.
St. Martin.